Okay, so today's concrete therapy is going to be turning this basket into a planter. The way I'm going to do that is, first I'm going to cover these holes up with tape. Then I'm going to create an insert to put in here, which we will then pour around, let it cure, strip it, and see how it comes out. So I'm going to get to work taping this up, and then we'll pour it. I taped it all up, as you can see, all the way around. Feel comfortable with that. I built this box to set in here. So I'm going to pour a layer from the bottom, maybe to there. Then I'm going to set this box in there. And I got these little weights. These are 2.5 pounds each. And I'll set those in the box. And that should more than keep it from floating. That should be plenty strong enough. I'm going to mix up the cement and we'll start pouring. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of cement. Cement. A little bit. As you can see in there, tap it a bit. Kind of a stiff mix I've got, so put one on this side. One on this side. I'm just eyeballing it, but if you really want to be precise, you could measure. Like if you measure this distance, that distance, and that distance, and that distance, you know, just measure all the way around, and you can make this real precise. I'm not overly concerned with precise. I kind of like doing it by eye. Okay, so we got enough weight in there, but I'm going to throw one more in for good measure, just to be on the safe side. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Now I'm going to fill the side. Oh my goodness, come on, this is unreal how fast this stuff dries. Seriously. This stuff is drying so fast. I don't like that. I want it to be wetter. But right now, I'm just going to deal with it. Okay. Get down in there. This stuff is crazy. Get some corners done. Fill in some corners. And man, it's a hot day, maybe that's it. Maybe my mix is just hot. I'd recommend. My lid collapsed. No biggie though. I recommend doing it wetter than this, but it's just hot. Hot out. Let's keep going. No stopping now. This is probably how I should have had it. Failed on that. But what am I gonna do now? Okay. Alright. Steph gave me a little weird knife thing. So, I'm going to go through. The reason I clean this up, I mean, as much as I can, is because when you go to strip this, these, for one thing, if you knock some of it down, if you are going to have to sand it, you want it to sand as much. So, try to, and on your radius, like a radius like this, I just want there to be a little, I don't want to be totally stuck on there. So if it does have trouble when I'm stripping it off, if there's tools like edgers you use, it'll at least not, give it less of a chance of chipping that off. I'm not saying it won't chip it, but less of a chance because you've rounded that edge versus having it straight up. So, just a little, still gonna have to do some, minor work, but just go around your edge. Like I hold this at a slight angle. Boop. Nothing fancy. Clean it, the edge of the excess, and then just kind of let it roll away. So when I go to pull this plastic out, again, no guarantees, but it'll put less pressure on that edge because I just gave it some relief. There we go. Let's do this edge too. So I'm pulling it at an angle there, even if it's excess at first. See, that one I exaggerated just so you guys can see. So that edge isn't going to be as likely to chip unless it's just, I'm too aggressive stripping it or whatever. And I said less likely. I didn't say it wouldn't. So don't hold me that, because sometimes this stuff does what it wants. Okay. Let's finish with this side. This isn't a tool that's made for this, but I don't care. You can see all the things. It doesn't look like I got big voids in there. So might get lucky. All right, let's strip the inside of this box just to see how this thing's holding up, and then decide whether or not I'm gonna strip the basket yet. Okay. Cardboard gets wet, so it's easy to strip hopefully. So far so good. Boom. We could work with that. That's just loose stuff on there. See how there's a little crack? Concrete always wants to crack on corners. This isn't a big deal though. So if you're ever pouring concrete, everywhere there's a corner, you want to put a joint if you can. And if you also lay pieces of rebar across that way, if it does crack, at least the rebar still holds it together. Because one thing that's guaranteed about concrete is it cracks. Science. Alright, I'm going to let this sit because I don't want to break anything, be too fragile. But when I come back, we'll strip it. I brought some tools, and hopefully I don't have to cut it out, but I might, which will be sad, but I do what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta break some chickens to get their eggs out. But I don't want to break any chickens. I just want the eggs. Come on, chicken. Come on, chicken. Problem is right there. Come on, chickens. Gonna have to resort to some surgery here. Gonna have to cut it out. Unfortunately. Sometimes a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. I'm gonna put a little grind on that top. Don't really care about the inside. I do have a hole under there, but there was tape, so I got a little shallow part I have to get. But on my sides, it's got some design. It's not flawless, but it's there. I like how this radius part looks. Now, all right, let's get the bottom off. The bottom looks like glass down there. Ooh. That is slick. Look how shiny that is. I mean, it is really slick. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alright, this one, I know you guys are always wanting them to be, well, a lot of people like to see it painted. I am going to paint this one. Oh, I'm going to paint it alright. Don't you worry about that. I don't mind the little imperfections in it either. Never mind the imperfections. Never. That is really slick. Next step, stone this really good, and then we paint it. Paint it, put some flowers in it. Let this dry, get some flowers in there, and then bada bing. It is done. Don't judge me on my flower arrangements, but the flowers were free. They're fake, but they were free from a dumpster. there you go. If I do another one of these, I will do it a little different and try to save the plastic container. I still have like 4 of those containers, so I will be doing another one. Alright guys, till next time, enjoy your lives.